Hello there guys, welcome to Rootstem. This is going to be a quick video of us discussing. We've managed to get hold of the Space Marine Codex a little bit early. We've just had a game, didn't last long. And it's just basically talking about what we thought of the actual battle. And what we thought of the actual rules as well. I'm here with Mills.
In relation to us as original review at Codex, which I think we can all agree was shite.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think as main issues on the original one were close combat units.
Close combat units were terrible.
Stratagems, rubbish.
Yep.
Relics and warlord traits not really making an impact compared to some other codexes and what they've got and what they can bring to the table.
Yeah,
that's what mainly it was.
That was mainly it. Yeah, basically the Space Marine Codex was very lackluster, and I think Games Workshop has gone the opposite way.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, definite. They've like gone from one extreme to other.
Yeah,
I think
that's the best way of putting it. That Mills.
They've gone from Marines, the pinnacle of the Imperium, that can shoot amazing, has an awesome save, but when it comes to actual damage and wounding, a bab.
Yeah. In
original one. Now it's like, what's that? You've brought a warlord. Ha! I've got 40 shots with Terminators. I've got 2s to hit with this stratagem.
Yeah.
6s cause automatic wounds. 6s to wound cause mortal wounds. And I get to reroll this. And all of them have a -2.
Yeah.
Just because I can.
Yeah, I like some of the rules they've added. I do think the combat doctrines are a little bit insane. That's the only way I can really put it.
I do like that they've tried to change aspects of the game.
Yeah.
With the combat doctrines. I do like that. However, I just think that with them applying the rules to various weapon types, it's hurt a lot in that game.
Yeah, the game we've just played, we used the tactical doctrines, we've used a lot of stratagems.
The only one we didn't use is the assault one.
Yeah.
The assault doctrine.
Because we didn't need to.
We'd
murdered each other by that point anyway.
Yeah, definitely.
So, for those that don't know, a lot of the new stratagems, a lot of the new rules, combat doctrines, you can, at the beginning of the game, you start off with the Devastator Protocol. Now this, which Mills pointed out to me is quite interesting, you only get this rule if your army is basically Astartes.
Yeah, it has to be purely battle forged, and it cannot have anything without the Angels of Death rule, excluding unaligned and servitors.
Yeah, so you can have your bastions and your bunkers, but you can't have your knights, your assassins, your inquisitors. They're pretty much locked out if you're wanting to use these rules. Now, these rules are very, very important. The Devastator Protocol allowed all of my units with a heavy weapon to be minus an additional -1 save. Now, bearing in mind, I do rock a Centurion Devastator squad. That had -1, so you got -4 last cannons, you got -2 heavy bolters, -3 rocket launchers in their chests. It was insane. We did an insane amount of damage on the first round of shooting. You've also got your tactical protocol, which Mills changed to straight away because majority of his army's got rapid fire weapons, and all of his rapid fire and assault weapons were an additional -2. Sorry, an additional -1. So a lot of his basic weapons were -1. His Terminators, which he had 10 of. Well, bearing in mind, Terminators in this game now get Bolt of Discipline, so they've got 4 shots apiece at 24-inch range. but had 24-inch range and -1 on the saves. They have an insane amount of firepower.
Yeah, but just to put it in relation though, the Stern Guard squad with Combi Plasma, with the tactical doctrine, all of a sudden made them into 24-inch Hellblasters.
Yeah.
Firing strength 8, -4, 2 damage, and at rapid fire as well. They were horrible.
Yeah, they were.
And they're a lot cheaper than Devastators. Than Hellblasters, sorry.
Yeah,
A lot cheaper than Hellblasters. Just to put that into Hellblasters. I mean, anybody who plays Imperial Fists, they must have sold the soul a long time ago, because at -5, ignore cover.
Yeah.
Even on a 2-up save, unless you have an invuln, you haven't got one.
You ain't got to save. No.
That is brutal. They can hit Land Raiders. They can hit Super Heavies.
Yeah.
And a Super Heavy is not going to get a save.
Unless it's got an invulnerable.
Which all Imperial vehicles don't.
No. Yeah, Lehman Russ battle tanks are going to be absolutely annihilated by plasma.
I know it's only 2 damage,
yeah.
But just to put that across, something at toughness 8, with a 2-up save, you're removing its save straight off with a -5. I know some other units have had that in past. For example, Patriarch, absolute badass with a -6 on a 6 to wound. But that's 6 attacks. He has to get there.
Yeah.
And that's a feat in its own. If he gets there, he deserves to wipe out a squad.
Yeah, he does definitely deserve to wipe out a squad if he gets in.
In fact, I think there's only 2 other units with -5, and that's the Knight with the harpoon cannon thing.
Yeah.
And the Warlord Titan.
Yeah. I think some of Necron stuff can have -5 if it's the Methric trait.
Yeah.
I think some of our stuff has -5 if it's within half range.
The traits they've changed the game completely. It's, for myself, it might just be my personal opinion, but it's no longer become a game of tactical or strategic planning.
Not when you're playing with Marines.
It's become more of a game of target priority for myself.
Yeah.
In terms of, I don't like that squad. I'm going to shoot it. Oh, look at all these minuses to get. I might re-roll ones, or... I mean, the armies that we took, which we threw units together, didn't we, too?
We didn't play a points value. We've basically just done like a power level. We threw units in. We wanted to see what would happen.
There were no units. There were no 2 units the same, were there?
Not really, mate. No.
So it's not armies that we'd normally take, but they still benefited massively from the either chapter tactics, which you use Crimson Fists, because mine were a Legion army from Heresy. I made my own Legion rules for re-rolling 1s for bolters, or bolt weapons, and any 6s to hit in combat automatically wounded.
That actually was quite good.
That
works. Was your 2 traits.
I think I'm going to keep that to relate to the Heresy version of Lunar Wolves / Sons of Horus. I think it works well for their 2 rules.
Yes.
So I'm going to keep that, despite me liking the White Scars rules, allowing you to advance and charge in the same phase, or even fall back. I think I'm going to stick with these because it's a similar sort of battle trait for Lunar Wolves. But the effects of it were just combining some things together were brutal. I mean, Terminators, 4 shots apiece, 10-man squad, so 40 shots. They're all bolt weapons, so you re-roll ones. For 1 command point, for Fury of the First, which is one of the new stratagems, you're hitting on 2s.
Yeah, that were really good, that, actually.
With the tactical doctrine, it means all their shots are a -1 AP. So at 40 shots, needing 2s with rerolls, against Marines needing 4s, realistically, well, put it this way, when I shot, I think I scored 39 hits.
Yes, you did.
And I think I wounded 24 or 25 of them, something like that. Put it this way, the squad I shot died.
Yeah.
Just because of the sheer weight of firepower with an additional minus.
And certain doctrines as well, I think, are going to be even more brutal with that. I didn't realise when... I've not really paid too much attention to what was coming out. I always prefer to get the book. But the Crimson Fists are +1 to hit if the unit is 5 more models than me. And... because that's what we played, Space Marines versus Space Marines. And the... oh, yeah. The other bit to that is, on a 6 to hit with a bolt weapon, you automatically cause another hit. You haven't even got a roll to hit. You just automatically cause another hit.
Well, look at them. You had 4 guys. 4 guys in rapid fire when I charged you. You hit 5 or 6 times?
Yeah.
5 times. 5 times. Which gave you 10 hits.
Yeah, because
straight
the
away.
6 is just a to hit roll. So it does apply to Overwatch fire.
Fair enough, you only caused 1 wound from it because I was toughness 5, because it was with my bikes. But 4 guys shouldn't be causing 10 hits. I mean, Necrons with Tesla don't even cause that, and they get 2 per 6.
Yeah, they do. They do. And when you combine it with the stratagems, there's a nice one for the intercessors. If you've not seen it from the Vigilus books, 2 command points allows you to rapid fire 2. And then another command point allows you to count the unit as standing still. One of my 5-men intercessor units, I played 3 command points on them. They counted as standing still, rapid fire 2, 4 shots apiece, and wiped out a 10-man tactical squad out.
Yep.
And Mills had not even finished rolling for all of his saves.
That was first turn. What second unit you shot?
Yeah. It just got wiped out. So don't get me wrong, the Space Marines are going to be able to kick some backside.
Oh, they have. They've definitely made them the... To be fair, I fancy Space Marines over Custodes.
Oh yeah, with all them special rules I do. Do we know anyone that's got a Custodes army?
Unfortunately not. And no, I am not buying one.
Just something for you to sell later on, Mills. That's...
No, I'm not buying one. If anybody would kindly like to donate a Custodes army, I'm quite happily to pay them, play with it.
If you've got a Custodes army and you can make your way to Barnsley.
Well, not just Barnsley, anywhere. There's other clubs that you can meet.
Well, yeah. But I'm not driving.
Isn't that fucking, you know?
Yeah. No, it will be quite interesting to see what they would do against Custodes. Stern Guard units are just insane. Really, really
-3
insane.
bombers.
Yeah. We've both used Stern Guard in this game. We both had the tactical doctrine activated. And even at one point, I even used the Stern Guard stratagem, which meant that I +1 to my wounding rolls. So I was wounding figures on freeze with a -3 against an intercessor squad that was in the open. 5-man, full intercessor squad just disintegrated.
I mean, not just Stern Guard. Can you imagine how bad that Vanguard unit would have been if I'd have been in the tactical assault phase?
Yeah.
They were 5 men. They were awesome. So I had a chaplain, which using their new powers, litanies, the new litanies that they have, which you need to cast on a 3+ at the start of the battle round.
Yeah, so it's not a turn.
Yeah.
It's a battle round,
So
so it is a little odd when you're doing it. To be honest.
you still can have your original trait of re-rolling failed hit or re-rolling hit rolls.
It's just re-rolling hit rolls now, so there's none of that to hit roll failure. So
you can still have that ability, or you can choose from 6 new ones. which we both decided to do to see what they were like. And
You get both. You can still use the old Limited of Hate if you want, but you've got to activate it like we did do with the new ones on a 3+.
Right, I thought you just had to pick that's the one you were having for that battle.
No. You actually get both.
Right.
So you get the new Limited and you get the old one as well. So depending on the situation.
Right.
The problem is if you go in second in a battle round, you're not quite sure if your situation is going to require one or the other.
Yeah. But the power that I had basically meant on any to hit rolls of a 6, it exploded into an additional attack. So bearing that in mind, with the chapter tactics trait that I took of any 6s to hit, unmodified rolls of 6s to hit, that automatically wounded. I had 5 Vanguard veterans with the new rule of Angels of Death. They had 1 additional attack for charging or being charged. So the standard veterans had 3 attacks apiece. The sergeant had 4. I think I rolled 3 6s, but hit all my attacks.
Yeah.
So I then got additional attacks with the 6s that I hit. I think I failed 1 of them. They automatically wounded with -3 weapons. And then I just had to roll with my remaining 5 guys caused 12 wounds with power swords and relic blades, which for a Space Marine player needing 12 6-up saves,
I ain't doing it.
they were brutal.
That's the best way of putting that, Bill. I ain't passing.
Yeah, but can you imagine turning around and going, oh, it's tactical phase, so that -3 is a -4, so you're not even going to get a save.
Oh, you mean the assault one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not even going to get a save against that, which is brilliant. But personally, my opinion on these doctrines, it favours shooting armies far too heavily for assault armies to actually be...
I think it outbalances the game.
Yeah.
For Marines, I don't think it puts a balance in at all. It's too much. I don't mind bolted discipline. I don't mind the extra attack in combat. When you're sat there going, everything's an extra -1, you're then suffering.
Yeah.
Because you're not... Even with the Terminators, that when you shot just with the -1 on the bolters against my Marines that weren't in cover, it's forced to save. I'm dying.
Oh, definitely.
I'm dying.
But that's. I think that's. I don't know if that's what they intended, but that's how the tactical doctrines have worked in our test game that we played. Stratagems wise, I think the stratagems that they've played are far better.
Oh,
far better than the previous
they're
ones.
They're a lot more fluffy. I know that
Yes.
sounds weird to say, but it made you feel like you were playing Space Marines.
Yes. I do think a lot of them are biased towards Primaris.
Oh, yeah.
It's either... Basically, it seems to be the new Codex is you play Primaris or you go home. If you play a full standard Space Marine army, you're not going to get many benefits, are you?
No, you're not.
Because there's a lot of stratagems or psychic powers, etc., that are dedicated to Primaris Marine. You know, stratagems that only work on intercessor squads, stratagems that only work on Phobos units. Same with the tanks, the repulsor.
Yeah, there is some stratagems which weren't out when I were playing that are just unique for repulsors and
you know, it's
which are hideous looking vehicles.
like I say, it seems to be. There is still stratagems that can be used on other units. Like I say, the Fury of the First is a great stratagem. I think I used that 2 or 3 times. Brilliant.
And Stern Guards have still got plenty of options with that +1 to wound.
Yeah, definitely. So I do really like the stratagems. New relics I think they're great as well.
The new relics were actually quite good.
I used one for a chaplain that's only for a chaplain, and one that's only for a librarian. Fair enough, the librarian one didn't really come into it, but the chaplain one, combined with the rules for close combat, he knocked out a Venerable Dread before it even got to fight, which was really effective. So, you know, the options there, the new options for it, don't get me wrong, some have changed. I believe you said the
standard of the Emperor Ascendant.
Yeah, I believe
it's
that
no longer
changed, so.
It's no longer a 3+ to shoot. It's still a 4+, but they've extended its range from 6 to 9 inches.
So there is that. So some have changed, but with the relics that we used or that we looked at, I think a lot more, because you've still got some of the old ones, haven't you, like Teeth of Terror.
You've still got some of the old basics like the Armour Indomitus, like you said, the Teeth of Terror. A lot of the specialist ones have gone because, of course, they belong to certain chapters, which you're not going to get unless you get a chapter book.
Yeah, it's like a supplement into it.
Yeah, so they're going to be an addition. Games Workshop know how to milk it. and surprisingly, in the Codex, there is no special characters at all.
No. Basically, the new Codex is built for your own, create your own chapter, which I think is a good point for the army that I played.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So the way it works is you can pick first founding chapter tactic. For example, White Scars, Ultramarines, etc. But there is no unit-specific rules or anything other than that. It is just the chapter trait. Alternatively, you can create your own, which I think is a great idea because you were able to create your own characters in the chapter approved.
Yeah, 2018 chapter approved did give you some options for creating your own characters. Unfortunately, didn't give you points values. It was mainly used for open play.
Yes, but it means for somebody like myself that's using a Legion army, rather than having to pick a first founding chapter to do it with, I can easily create my own chapter, and obviously, depending on your, I don't know, gaming club or wherever you play, you can effectively make your own characters if they're happy with you to use them characters, which, fortunately for me, a lot of people where we play are quite happy with that.
Yeah. Well, why not? Because if you can create your own character, so can I.
Yeah, it's just one of those, isn't it? It's the idea, for me, the idea of this, and what originally got me into it, is the lore and the fluff.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more, not exciting, I won't use that as a phrase, but there's nothing more enjoyable than making your own Legion yours, giving it its own special characters, giving its own chapter traits, giving its own founding history. I mean, we started a campaign a couple of months ago for explaining like the history of my army going from the heresy and becoming Lunar Wolves in 40k. But we made that ourselves. It works towards the campaign, and it's been enjoyable to play.
It does.
So I think the able to make your own chapter is great, and the fact that they've gave you rules to actually help with that is brilliant. So you pick 2 traits. Some traits don't work with others, but you cannot pick a first founding or the create your own chapter traits.
No.
It has to be one or the other.
Yeah.
Which,
it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's not going to overpower the army. And when you actually look at the rules, there are some nice rules in there, but you can't go better than a founding chapter.
No. No, founding chapter is actually better.
The rules for them are they're similar to 2 tactics with added extras.
Yeah.
For example, the White Scars one is You're allowed to advance and charge.
You can still fall back and charge as well, so you've got
Yeah.
2 on that one.
Rather than the create your chapter one, which is just you're allowed to fall back and charge.
Yeah, so it's the old white sky.
They also have one where you can fire heavy weapons with bikes at no ill effect.
Yeah.
That hasn't affected me, but that is not an option in the create your own chapter traits.
No, it's not, from what I can see.
Iron Hands one is going to be brutal for the benefits that can get.
Yeah, because the benefits now apply to your vehicles. So, I'll be honest, it's quite amusing when you're chucking out heavy bolters from stuff and you're scoring additional hits because you're Crimson Fists. It's a little insane.
I'm really enjoying. I've liked the new rules changes. Looking at it, they look awesome. Playing the test game, I think they're going to be a bit overpowered, and I think the rules can definitely be exploited.
Oh yeah, I can see
in tournament play. Definitely,
I can see in at least a month's time a new set of here's the points values, because I don't think they've decreased the points value, yet the army is it's worth more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Centurions coming down in points and being able to do. I know that they were hard to begin with.
Well, they've come down in points. So my setup, which was 4 heavy bolters, 3 Centurion rocket launchers in the chests, and twin las, was about 285. They've dropped 15 points from that, so about 270 roughly. I'll have to double check it. But they ignore cover. Because I'm Crimson Fists, if I'm versing something that's got at least 8 models, I'm plussing 1 to hit, because I've got 3. So it's 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right.
It's got to be 5. It's a very complicated. It's a very odd way of doing it. So I would need to. If I'm versing something against 8, then I'm I'm plussing 1 to hit. Any 6s with the heavy bolters, I'm getting extra shots because that generates automatic additional hits. And I've got an extra wound because all the Centurion units are now 4 wounds apiece instead of being 3 wounds apiece. And the Interceptors as well, they've also gone up another wound, so they've gone up to 3 wounds apiece, which actually did save one of the guys when we played the game. It did make them a lot more durable.
Definitely.
It made them a hell of a lot more durable. The amount of times I've played Intercessors and it's like, yeah, I've dropped down, versing Guard as an example. And then someone goes, oh, look, a couple of plasma guns overcharging. Oh, look, they're dead. Yeah, very annoying. But they are a little bit overpowered when they turn up deep striking on turn 2 and they've all got a -2 to their bolters because you've played a tactical doctrine.
And the result 3.
Yeah, so we've got 6 shots apiece. Minimum squad size is 3. You've got 12 shots.
18.
Sorry, yeah, 18. Sorry.
18 shots.
18 shots.
3s to it, re-rolling, well, for myself, re-rolling 1s.
Yeah, so you were your doctrine. It was 3s to hit, re-rolling 1s.
With a -2.
And strength 5.
And strength 5.
Yeah.
Which, it's painful. It's really painful. You rock up with a Marine army and you think that this is going to be quite... Marines versus Marines has always been quite... You need to think tactically to be able to get rid of units.
Yeah.
Put yourself in a situation which you're going to come out better from. Now it seems to be... I don't like it. I'll just take it off board because I'm going to put this squad of firepower into it and it's removed.
Yeah, I definitely think as well we need to play...
Look at... We'll take a standard squad of tactical Marines. We'll say they're not even in rapid fire range.
Yeah.
I'll pay 1 point, so they're stood still. They're now in rapid fire range because of Vault of Discipline.
Yeah.
So that's 20 shots. We're in tactical assault phase, tactical doctrine phase.
Yeah.
So they're all -1.
Yeah.
1 point to make a shite tactical squad. 20 shots with 3s say I'm a standard chapter,
Yeah.
so I don't re-roll my 1s, but needing 3s, probably needing 4s, but it's a -1. All of a sudden, it's a cheap intercessor squad.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. There's going to be some awful combinations. Deep striking Terminator units with a Terminator Chaplain with abilities of hate that +2 to your charges.
Yeah. To negate you're no longer allowed to use levitation or warp time.
Yeah.
What we're going to decide to do is we're going to give this chaplain +2 to your advance and charge rolls. So rather than a 9, you're going to need a 7. Oh, fantastic! That's just
So that
amazing.
hits on averages, yeah.
Oh, what's that? I'm going to suffer 40 shots on weighing as well. Oh, thanks, brilliant.
Yeah.
just. Can you put a little bit of spit on that pitchfork before you ram it up my ass?
I would. To be honest, I'd probably only deep strike Terminator Assault Marines. The standard ones with the Stormbolters, I'm having them now on field on turn 1.
Yeah, but most deployments, you're 24 inches away anyway.
Yeah, so all you need to do is walk forward.
But but a lot of the time, depending on who you're coming across, most people aren't going to put all the stuff on the line.
No, but there's going to be something on the line.
In that game, we did put pretty much all our units on the line.
We had to, because we played a very large game on a 6 foot by 4 foot board, so it was like looking at an Imperial Guard army scene.
Yeah.
There was a lot of figures. Hell of a lot of figures.
I am liking the Codex. I do think they've gone from probably a 4 or 5 out of 10 in the previous one related to other codexes to being an 11.
Oh yeah.
I would hate to play against Marines being something like NIDS, Tau.
Oh God. Gene Stealer Cult.
God.
They're going to have a great struggle.
The only army that I think would, well, not would benefit, but would probably have some sort of decent chance with it is certain lists with Necrons.
Yeah.
Well, I've played Sam recently, and it was a 2,000 point game, and he only had, out of 2,000 points, he only had 2 bog standard squads of Immortals at toughness 4. Everything else was at least toughness 5 upwards. And against, don't get me wrong, I played them with me 1,000 Suns for 40k, and the -2 that they have on their bolters helped. But I was still needing 5s to wound.
Yeah.
So for me, that lists like that could benefit. A Wraith Guard list for Elder with a high toughness.
Toughness 6, yeah. That would probably benefit quite. Yeah, you'd struggle against.
So
we'd have to try it.
Certain lists and things like that with the new Space Marines would probably stand a chance. But the ability to pump out so many minuses on range shots, close combat, it's unreal.
I think that's what it was. The first 2 turns was just literally all your heavy weapons are an additional -1, and then turn 2 is like all your rapid fire weapons are additional -1.
Yeah, but it's like las cannons. Las cannons are hard anyway. Wounding tanks on 3s, gaining them a 5 up save. All of a sudden, it's like right, first turn. So you need a 6 up save that Land Raider.
On Land Raiders, yeah. Yeah, really good again. I mean, well, if you think about it, on a first turn versus a Lehman Russ battle tank, you need 3s to hit, 3s to wound, he's got no save.
Yeah. Which is brutal. But it's same with a Land Raider, 3s to hit, 3s to wound, but he's got a 6 up save.
Yeah.
A Land Raider, nearly 300 points. Don't get me wrong, that would still have the -1 on its weapons as well.
Yeah.
But at such an expensive one unit, one model.
Yeah, Land Raiders, when you think about it, first turn at game on a Land Raider, 4 las cannon shots at -4.
Yeah. Plus a heavy bolter at -2.
Yeah.
And what setup that I've got is a multi-melter, but going to be a -5.
Yeah. Just can't save it if you didn't cover. So it gets to a point where the only thing you can save with, to be honest, that'd wreck, absolutely annihilate Elder Knights.
It's
because Elder Knights don't have an invulnerable if you take the Wraith Cannons.
I'll be honest, I have a feeling it's going to end up becoming one of those where it's like, right, what's your list? Well, I've got 3 or 4 Spearhead detachments. What? Yeah, I've got 3 Devastator squads, I've got 3 Land Raiders,
Aye.
I've got 3 Hellblaster squads. All of them's going to have an additional minus, all going to be like 30 to 48 inch range, packing high damage, high minuses to AP.
With low point captain and lieutenants running everywhere.
Yeah.
Giving you rerolls on your wands.
And if you're certain armies, ignoring cover.
Yeah.
Or pluses to hit.
Yeah.
I think the opportunity to cheese some lists now is going to...
So technically what we're saying, just to put a finer point on this, well, I'll tell you what in the game we played, what were your favourite unit to use just then?
I'll be honest, the Vanguard. I really enjoy the combat with Vanguard.
Yeah.
But I favour combat armies.
But is that because you got the extra attack? So you actually felt like you were getting attacks?
No, I didn't think it was the extra attack. Fair enough, I got 3 extra attacks.
Yeah.
But the ability of the Vanguard, not the extra attackers in rolling 6s, sorry, the extra attackers for Angel of Death. The extra attack on that one is brilliant. It were only the doctrines and the ability from the chaplain that gave them. But the ability that they were able to compete close combat wise were brilliant. It was before you'd go in with a combat unit and you'd be like, nah, I'm not feeling it, fuck off.
Yeah.
And that'd be from a tactical squad against a veteran close combat unit. And they'd be like, what? So I've just walked into there, got absolutely butchered by tactical marines because they've only got the same number of attacks. Now it were like, right, all armour power weapons, these to hit, these to wound, you've got 6s to save. Take them off. They were great. Centurions blew stuff away.
Centurion Devastators is just,
It's
that -1 on that first round with them. Centurion Devastators.
I think overall they've done a good job of improving it. I think they just might have improved it a little bit too much. They've gone...
I won't mind if they've improved it that way. If the points are... I actually expected, with all this new stuff coming out, the Space Marine points of certain units to go up. Yeah. And they haven't. They've gone down.
But if they've done this with Space Marines, then they're going to need to improve other codexes to compete.
Yeah.
Personally.
Well, which is what they'll probably do to be able to make sure that you're buying new codexes. But it wouldn't surprise me if you saw an FAQ quite quickly about changes to the points or something, because they have gone from.
Personally,
it's like someone's just injected all the Space Marines with steroids.
Yeah, they've basically turned normal tactical Marines into Primaris with the minuses.
Yeah.
And they've made the Primaris Marines into Custodes. And they've turned around and gone, Custodes? Nah, we're not that bothered about them because nobody's buying them anymore.
Probably. More than likely.
But personally, I think rather, in terms of doctrines, I think there's no need. You should be able to pick what doctrine your army starts on.
Yeah,
rather than it starting on heavy, having to pay a command point to change it to one of others, and not being able to go back. You should be able to choose which one you start with.
Yeah. Or you should be able to choose which one you start with, and if you change, you should be able to choose which one you change into.
Yeah. But also for me, there's no need for the heavy weapon one. Heavy weapons are hard enough as is. I agree with the tactical one, but the one that I'd change for that is rather than the additional -1 being for rapid fire and assault weapons, it should be if you play the tactical doctrine, bolt weapons gain a -1.
Yeah.
So your plasmas are still -3. Your melters are still -4.
Yeah.
Your flamers are still -1 or 0. A bolt round is supposed to be an explosive warhead.
Yeah.
That's like the size of a Coke can. It's supposed to go into a wall or a carcass and explode. They should have a -1. Other stuff shouldn't. They're already powerful enough. The assault one we didn't really use, but I do agree that they should have a -1. Purely because you've got Marines with combat knives. Marines with a combat knife, they should be able to batter units in combat. And you walk into a guard squad and it's like, right, I've got these 5 tactical Marines, one's a sergeant, so I've got 6 attacks. 3's to hit, 3's to wound, but you've got your standard armour. What?
Mm-hmm.
If a Marine punches you, he'll knock your head clean off. Are you telling me that your t-shirt save is going to save you from that? No.
Yeah, and let's be fair, the +1 attack is actually making it more so that you are kind of reenacting that.
It is, with the additional attacks, and having the assault doctrine having a -1 means that Marines can be a lot better in combat.
Yeah.
Which I agree. I don't see the need in the heavy support one, and I think they've gone a bit too much on the rapid fire / assault. I think it should just be bolt weapons. I do think I agree with that. It should just be bolt weapons because like you say, the fact that you've got -4 plasma running up and down is just insane. -4 plasma, -5 melter.
Yeah.
Hell, -5 hell blasters.
Yeah. And then if you've got is it auto bolt rifle for the intercessors?
Yeah.
If you've got that, which is now 3 shots apiece, so improve that, it's now 3 shots apiece. But you can play a stratagem where if you're within 12 inches, which is a half the range of the weapon, you auto hit. And if you're playing tactical doctrine, you auto hit him with a -1. So your strength 4, you automatically hit. Your strength 4, your -1. It gets to a point where it becomes certain weapons. You think to yourself, it's too much.
Definitely too much.
We'll leave it there.
Yeah. I think overall, though, I think they've made some good improvements, especially for stratagems, warlord traits, which you've now got 2 warlord charts.
Yeah.
But one of them is only for if you're in Phobos armour, which I don't know why they're going with this Phobos theme. I've no idea, but it's nice to have 2 warlord traits. The stratagems, massive improvement, really like those. Same with relics. I think the doctrines are a bit much.
Made it a bit overpowered, didn't they?
Yeah.
Should have taken away Bolt of Discipline, got rid of it, not letting you do it, and just have bolters of -1.
Yeah, either or for that. It would have worked.
Yeah. And Stalker bolt rifles having 2 damage as well.
I agree with that.
It's insane though.
I agree with the 2 damage.
I don't, because it's 2 damage but -1.
But it was -2 to begin with.
That's what I'm saying. Swap it round.
No, see, I agree with the -2 damage.
No.
Because
because there's no points increase for that weapon.
It used to be a point, didn't it?
It used to be. I think it used to be 2. But
no, I thought it were a point.
There's no points increase for you taking a Stalker bolt.
Right. It's a heavy weapon.
It's a heavy weapon, but there's no points difference.
So realistically, you can have a -3 at 2 damage.
Yeah. On turn 1.
Yeah. So if you, again, it's exploiting it. You can go for, I've got a brigade. I've got a battalion. Oh, yeah, no problem. They're all packing heavy weapons, though, so they're all -3, 2 damage.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I've got some Vanguard detachments and all.
Yeah.
It can be proper abused. And luckily, we aren't one of those places to abuse it, but I can see a lot of places, people, tournaments definitely abusing things like that.
I think in the internet community calls it that guy.
That guy. All right, yeah, okay. Yeah. So Joe Butler, that guy. Sorry, I didn't mean Joe Butler, that guy.
Joe Butler. Yeah, I'll wait. He don't watch these anyway.
Even if he did, I won't give a shit. So
yeah, I think that guy could really exploit this.
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
that guy could really exploit this codex.
Definitely. I can see a vast majority of tournament lists now being Space Marine lists, as opposed to like when 8th first came out and everybody proper bumfucked guard to death in tournaments because of how cheap the units were and how effective they were. That is now going to happen with the Space Marine Codex for the sheer weight of firepower that they can put out now.
Yeah.
I know we played a big game and we had a lot of command points to manipulate into new stratagems, but besides from the stratagems, just standard doctrine rules, chapter rules, and unit rules, you can dry bomb a player all day.
Yeah.
With that. Depending on what units you pick, an army that you've got, it can be bad.
It's going to be harsh. We're going to leave it there.
It can be harsh.
Yeah, we're going to leave it there. We might come back and revisit this in a couple of days. Once we've seen what happens. If you're listening to this and you got to this point, just pay attention. I'm going to try and get a battle report up as soon as possible. As regards, it might actually go up on the same day as us actually putting this out, depending on what I'm doing, because I'm recording this on a Wednesday. I'm going to Blackpool on Thursday. So
no, just to reiterate, it is actually Thursday now because
it's actually gone past. It took us hours to be able to, because we had to keep looking at the book as well.
We actually started this game at 5:30.
Shut up.
So we just want to point out that
dedication.
Dedicated.
Dedication.
Scumbag won't even thank us.
Joe Butler.